flower. You are a little bit tentative along the edges for some time, but you move in. You move into the interior. You get closer and closer. And then there's a slope. And as you hit that slope, you move more quickly to the center of the flower, to the origin, the place, the source. There's a certain, like a slide, suddenly you go a little bit faster. And this is a turning point for people like you and Dave. It is interesting that both of you had this sort of sense of abundance, that sense of abundance occurring after a long period of time of very hard work. There was a shift that did indeed occur. And now your work will be somewhat more rapid. You must understand that it can't be too rapid. If it is too rapid, that would be very confusing for both of you. You would have difficulty functioning on Earth if you had total consciousness at this moment. It must be achieved slowly. There must be work that is done, dedication. There must be a rising above, to some degree, the material wealth that some very much desire within this business. There must be balancing, self-awareness. There must be a communication. There are many things that are going on that you were both learning as you were on the edge, getting into the flat plane. But now there's a real increase. Again, we would think of it as like a slide that you quickly move into your greater awareness. Knowledge. And when we say this, that the knowledge of the light can be quite blinding to other kinds of knowledge. It is necessary to have knowledge of your feet on the earth, knowledge of practical matters. You are not just spirit. You are embodied in a physical body, and there's the knowledge of that body. There are sometimes those who want to bypass the body and get direct to the light, but it is too soon. It is not about escaping the human experience. The human experience is full of joy and love and many other things. Such people might be over-focused on the negative, and they cannot live within the duality. Here I am doing some work, and I'm also having some fun. This duality is part of the human experience. It's not all the light. It is everything. And an embrace of everything brings one closer to the light, and acceptance. Yes, there is so much darkness here. That is just something for me to work with and respond to and understand. At some point, and this did not necessarily last continuously, Dave came to an understanding that every person who came to him was reflecting something back. Here is an opportunity. You can get enraged, or you can get past this rage, or you can engage. What would you choose to do? But in each case, it's not about an outside force attacking. It is more, here is food for thought. Let's try reacting. How do you react? Maybe the first time you react wrong, and then you reflect upon it and say, well, this was not my problem. I didn't need to react. Or, I'm really angry about something else. The person just showed up and became the object of my anger. Or, I am always the sensitive one, so the burden is always left at my feet. And there's a response. No, I won't accept that. I will remain calm and communicate. All of these are sort of lessons every single day. Each person is a lesson. Each situation is a lesson. A lesson occurred this morning for Dave when he went to his Facebook, which is sort of a waste of time, and he's clicking through these things and he notices a message, and it's essentially a group argument that is presented to him from a stranger. And at that moment, he is wondering if he should respond, and he responded with, who are you? Why are you doing this? And immediately the answer was extremely rude. Someone was trying to engage him in an argument because they have nothing better to do. And that is their purpose, to engage in arguments. There was a moment where he responded, but after a moment, Dave said, aha, this is an intended distraction. to help me practice not being distracted. I am not going to engage with this. I will block it. And it meant that he ended the Facebook experience and just moved on. So each of these experiences is a sort of opportunity. Do you engage? How do you engage? It does not matter if you make an error and engage when you shouldn't. It will only matter if in reflection you don't realize that you have done this. So much of this is occurring where in very much real time, people are experiencing something such that they must have a response, and through that they are learning. It is the case that people who have been in many different difficult situations are much better at reacting to difficult situations if they are in a state of awareness and not in a state of reactivity. This is going on constantly now for many people, especially in places like North America. They're bombarded again and again and again with the choice. Should you stay here and have this argument, or should you just go take a walk? Do you have any real vested interest in arguing? Are you being manipulated into an argument for someone who has nothing better to do than argue, or somebody who is in fact paid to argue with you? Leaving what some people might call the matrix is a way of understanding, yes, this is just an enticement. It's just an attraction to distract me. And therefore they move away. Or they engage and realize that was a mistake. Or they continue along the path of being manipulated in this way. The choice is to say, no, I will not allow myself to react. I will not allow myself to be manipulated. What is this situation telling me? It is telling me something. It is telling me, I should reflect. I should leave. I should disengage. I can choose. And each of the times there is a choice. How will I engage? What will I do? Can I simply say, no, I don't want to do that. I would like to go swimming. I would like to read a good book. Every day people are given these choices. It is obvious clearly what we think the choices should be. They will keep being bombarded until they become aware that they have the choice. And once they start consistently making the choice that says no and no and no, they will evolve, go into greater awareness, greater happiness, a broader sensation of feelings that is not always with anger. You might think of the idea of the devil. The devil is distraction. If one can avoid distraction, one will be much closer to the light.